but he's no good as a master huntsman. And he wants us snitching on people. And he wants us to do all the work. Last will, we could do that, but we have to eventually go over there anyway. So there's the charlatan quest, there's the heretics quest. Okay, so let me go do the horse race. And then we'll do the Huntsmaster one. Then eventually we'll have to do the heretics, right? But I want to do the heretics yet. Oh, there is an ambush. This won't take long. Now imagine if you had horses, you peasants. The dog won't bite them, okay, unfortunately. Where's he going? What? Where's he going? Where are you going? What? Are you guys okay? I don't think they're quite there, these guys. Okay, let's see. Actually, we're supposed to be able to speak to Ginger. Did we speak to him already? I may have. But he's meant to give us a bonus. Okay, fine. So be it. So be it. No bonus. Alright, let's break into the ladies' bedchambers. Uh-huh.
Do you need a hand with anything around here?
I certainly do. After what happened, I don't know where to begin. Throw out everything that's burnt, hire new stable boys. But why bother? There's just no point anymore. Especially since no one will buy from me. Our best customer was Sir Divish of Talmberg. He paid handsomely for our horses. But now my husband is... Now he's been murdered. His lordship has stopped buying. Although we still breed excellent steeds.
Then why would he stop buying from you?
I don't know, really. But maybe you could find out? Take our dabbled grey and show him to his lordship. He's a fine steed. A bit of a devil, but fast as the wind. That ought to convince Sir Divish.
Why me? Why not go yourself or send a stable boy?
I need all my stable boys here, and besides, you've got his lordship's ear, so I'm sure I can trust you.
But how? Do you want to race?
Race? I can't go running around like a March hare just to win some custom. I've got my dignity.
No, not you. A horse race. The winner will determine who Sir Divish buys from.
Ah, I see. And I was afraid I'd have to try and outrun people half my age with these old aching knees of mine.
Old aching knees? She doesn't look a day over 30. But I guess people back in the day did a lot more physical labor, right, sir? I guess by say 30 or 40 your body would be suffering.
Alright, I'll go and ask Sir Divish. Maybe I can find out what's going on.
That would be very kind of you, lad. Please send him my respectful greetings. Goodbye.
Alright. Look at this horse. This horse is rubbish. Yeah. She says it's fast as the wind. Rubbish. This horse is slower than pebbles. But yes, even my horse, which is the crappiest one in the game, well, the crappiest purchasable horse, even that one is faster than this one. Oh, okay. Just run into the trees. Well done. Okay, I'm gonna go here. Okay.
This one is from Neuhof. Take good care of him for me.
Ah, yes. Henry just speaks in his dreams. Actually, I do owe her. Oh,
with you, Henry.
I do owe her some jewelry.
The Lord save you. What do you need?
Oh, what is this? I took the liberty. What is? Oh, I don't know what this is.
My lady, if I may, I'd like to give you this.
Henry, my boy. Such a lovely gesture. Thank you kindly. They're really beautiful.
Take care.
Did I just give her flowers? I may have just given her flowers. I did. Okay, so you can give them to. Yeah, you can give them to Lady Stephanie. Well, okay, so I guess Teresa doesn't get flowers. Even though we've been friend zoned, we can still give her flowers. Or at least we will be. Actually, we will be friend zoned. All right, we're gonna cancel Sir Divish.
My lord, I bring greetings from Smill's widow, Zora, mistress of the Neuhof stud farm.
Zora. The poor woman, to lose her husband in such a terrible way. How can I help her?
She sends her respects and would like to ask, if you don't mind, why you stopped buying horses from her.
I take my horses from Uzits now. It's no reflection on Zora or her people, but it was clear to me after the tragedy at Neuhof that the stud farm would never recover. I'm not inclined to buy my steeds from a stud farm run by a woman. You can understand that, can't you? Being a stable master is a man's work.
Ooh, cancel culture. Alright, we're gonna cancel Sir Divish. Because we got some good horse riding skills, we can actually use our own skill here. Or we can actually just, speech him.
Her horses.
I don't understand his dialogue though.
Beautiful, powerful animals, my lord.
Her
Impeccable
horses.
ears, strong teeth, clean ears. You certainly won't get any better from Ujits.
You do seem to know a great deal about horses. If what you say is true, then I have an idea. We'll hold a horse race, and whoever's horse fares better, that's who we'll buy from. I hope you will carry the Neuhof colors.
It looks that way. I've already bought the horse.
Splendid. Tell my stable master about my decision. Meanwhile, I'll send word to the riders from the other stables around. Let's make a proper show of it.
I don't understand why he starts with her horses. Alright, I gotta talk to hello.
God save you! God be with you.
Sir Divish has sent me about the race.
Race?
Yes, I'm to tell you he wants to arrange a horse race. He will send word himself to the other stables and riders in the area.
It's true no one's raced the Talmberg track for ages. And the folk around here could use a bit of excitement. But what's your part in this?
Actually, Mistress Zora sent me. She wants his lordship to start buying her horses again.
Zora? She's from the Neuhof stud, ain't she?
Yes.
I hope with all my heart you win. After what's happened to Zora, she deserves some luck. Do you know the rules of the race?
I don't.
We'll tell you before the start of the race where the poles are and what order you have to reach them in. There's no set course. You can take any route you want. Knowing the lie of the land is very important. You must take a ribbon from each pole, and once you have them all, you can ride back. If you're the first one here, then you win. Got it?
I understand.
All right, but a race like that will take some time to arrange. Bring the dappled grey tomorrow to the gate of the Outer Bailey at noon. The start will be there.
All right, thanks. Master Huntsman, is there any work for me here?
There's always something that needs doing. You're that Skalitz lad, aren't you? Sir Radzig's lackey.
I'm no
Sir Radzig
lackey.
is my liege, and I serve him faithfully. But that doesn't make me a lackey.
As you wish. What matters to me is that you're no layabout looking for easy work. I have a job here I can't give to just anyone.
I'm listening.
We've been having terrible problems with poachers lately. In Sir Divish's forests, we've been finding gutted entrails of deer and rabbit nooses all over the place, but no sign of the bastards who put them there.
And you want me to track down the poachers?
Indeed. Whatever you learn will be useful to me.
It's his job. But yes, isn't that what you're here for? Is that what you're here for, Master Huntsman?
Shouldn't you be dealing with the poachers yourself?
I should, you're quite right. But when I ask the local folk anything, their mouths close up like clams. They're more scared of me than the devil.
Do you think the locals are in on it?
Well,
Who
I don't
else?
know, maybe. But even if not, they'll never talk to me. They're scared I'll dig some skeleton out of their cupboard. You know, the smaller the village, the bigger the secrets. That's why I need an outsider to ask for me.
I understand.
So he wants us to do his dirty work for him, basically.
Do you suspect anyone?
Well, it's hard to say, but seeing how much harm they're causing, I'd say they're no crofters looking for a Sunday roast.
So basically, he's just admitted that he's no good as a Master Huntsman. And he's also a bit of an arrogant type. And he wants us to basically go snitching on people. And he wants us to do all the work. So, as far as I'm concerned, this guy needs to go out.
I'll try to find out something about them. Any advice about where to start?
Certainly. Ask around the village. Somebody must have seen or heard something. And it wouldn't hurt to ask in the inn in the glade, the one on the road towards Neuhof. I've heard they serve good venison, and no shortage of it.
That's clear enough. As soon as I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Thanks for your help, lad.
So this quest is extremely involved. There's so many branches that is not funny. Actually, so now we can actually speak to people. We should do that. So one option is to actually ask around. The other one is to go and ask Andrew at the end of the glade. I'll try to show off as many as possible.
What do you think about all the poaching lately?
What should I be thinking? If they ever catch them, Sir Divish will have them skinned alive. But for that to happen, our master huntsman would have to be made of sterner stuff.
Uh-huh.
Do you think Nicholas isn't doing enough?
A master huntsman who lets poachers run wild through his woods? He's useless. He couldn't even stop them hanging a stag's head on his own house.
Right.
Okay, so you can talk to him, but you can also talk to the innkeeper's wife.
I heard you've got a poaching problem in the woods around here.
In the woods and out of them. Not long back the bastards hung a deer's head on the huntsman's house.
That's pretty brazen of them.
Certainly is. Word around the village is that someone wants to shame him till he squirms.
Cutting a deer's head on the huntsman's house sounds pretty risky. Why would anyone do that?
Maybe they want to show that Huntsman Nicholas is no match for them. And they're not wrong. He isn't the man he should be.
Do you think it was someone local?
I really don't know. All sorts of things yet said. Hanekin Hare is back, if you listen to some, and others are going on about Tom of the Baths. They swear blind he's got his fingers in it.
And what about you?
It could be anyone. There's more than one that has it in for Nicholas. And who knows what the neighbors get up to by night.
What's so suspicious about this Thomas?
Just that he was drunk and blabbering about how he was going to bring back venison from the woods.
Aha, so that's clue number 1.
Tell me something about Hanekin Hare.
He used to be Master Huntsman here a while back. But then Nicholas got him accused of a murder, and the Hare had to flee. It cost him the huntsman's rank and Margaret, too.
What happened between Hare and Nicholas, anyway?
Those two didn't get on from the start. And then that business with Margaret really set them at each other's throats. But it all came to a head about 15 years back when Sir Henry of Lipa came to visit.
Sir Hanish's father?
Just so. There was a banquet at the castle in his honor, and in the morning they found one of Sir Henry's men-at-arms in the ditch with his neck broken. Well, Nicholas made sure the blame fell on Hanekin Hare.
And what happened to Hare?
That's just it. No one rightly knows. They put him in the dungeon, but when Sir Henry's men came for him the next morning, he was gone. No one knows what became of him.
So how did Nicholas put the blame on Hare?
Nicholas always had a viper's tongue, and events made it easy for him. That evening there'd been a right falling out between Hare and the guardsman. Blows were struck. Well, Sir Divish didn't want any ill will with Sir Henry, so he tried to settle things as quick as he could, and Hare got the short straw.
What's going on with Margaret? So yes, this is the branch that kind of gives you the hidden path of this quest.
What was going on with Margaret?
Her father promised her to Hanikin, because they seemed a good match. But Nicholas couldn't stomach that, so he did what he did.
I want to ask about something else. So why do people think Tom of the Baths is involved?
Ah, that's just nonsense. He was bragging in the tavern that he'd put on a venison feast for the village girls. Deer for the deers.
Did he?
I doubt it. He's all mouth and no trousers. But if you want to know more, ask my husband, the innkeeper. I wasn't here that evening.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
If you ask me, there's some questions best left unanswered. But go and see Elena if you're determined. That old gossip will tell you all there is to know.
But yes, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can pick up. He might give us some more gossip.
I don't know anything about that. But if it's gossip you're after, go and speak to Brada the tanner. He always spins a good yarn. You'll find him at the end of the village, the last house on the way to the quarry.
So yes, there's another branch. You can speak to Brida. Let's see. What have we got so far? The hare hunt is ridiculously long, so it's a couple of branches. One is to go and actually join the poachers. Number 2 option is to ask around the village. There's a whole bunch of people. Now, Tom of the Baths was actually involved in getting some deer. Then you can also speak to Margaret, right? And if you pass a speech check...
I'm here to find out about the poachers gang, and I need to ask a few questions.
Well, ask away. I don't have all day.
I heard you were yelling in the tavern that you were off to hunt some venison.
Look here. I don't know who you are, but you should watch your mouth.
I will, don't you worry. So what happened then?
What? Nothing. It was just the beer talking. I got pissed and started spouting shit. Didn't mean a word of it.
Maybe not. That remains to be seen. That'll do me. I hear there's been trouble with poachers recently.
I don't have time to talk to strangers. Good day to you. Good luck to you.
So yes, he basically stonewalls us.
Good God, you look terrible. Did someone attack you?
Sad face Henry. He looks like he's been attacked apparently.
And they kill a lot more than they take. Many a time I've seen a carcass just thrown in a ditch.
Why would someone just toss their catch in the woods? It doesn't make sense.
Well, the wagging tongues say they're just doing it to spite the huntsman.
Do you have any idea who the poachers could be?
If I knew, the bastards would be strung up by now.
Don't tell me you've heard nothing at all.
Well, I did hear that Thomas, that fellow who works at the bathhouse, was mouthing off recently, saying he'd go and bag himself some game and lay on a right feast for the village girls.
I see. Has anyone seen those poachers with their own eyes?
No, just the dead game they leave behind. But Blacksmith's Betty saw some goings-on in the woods.
Goings-on? What's that supposed to mean?
Well, that's what she said, and I ain't one to pry.
Right, so yeah, there's basically rumours on rumours on rumours.
Why would anyone want to take revenge on the huntsman?
He's not the best-liked man in the village. We all know that. And then there are those who say Hanekin Hare is back.
Who's Hanekin Hare?
You're not from around here, are you? The Hare's quite the Talmberg legend. He used to be Master Huntsman here once, but then he ran off.
Why did he run?
Well, it just so happens I know the answer to that. Some big important nobleman came to Talmberg around then, and they made a grand occasion of it. And in the midst of it all, Hare had a falling out with some man-at-arms and knocked him in the moat. The poor bugger broke his neck. They picked the Hare up, but before they could take him before the court, he vanished.
Why take revenge on Master Huntsman Nicholas?
Because of Nicholas's wife, Margaret. Hare had his eye on her back then, but she didn't care for him and he was fuming. Well, and after he disappeared, Nicholas got his post.
Where did he run to?
No one really knows. They say he's hiding in secret tunnels beneath the castle, but that's all fairy tales. It's been years. As I see it, he's underground all right. 6 feet down and cold.
Yeah, so he's sleeping with the fishers. Please gossip.
Jesus Christ, your clothes. Were you assaulted? Damn bandits, may they burn in hell.
This hurts me, seriously, this hurts me. The fact that I've gone to all the trouble of purchasing all of this clothing. And look at that, it looks nice and tidy. And I'm pointing at the screen right there. I'm gesturing wildly at the screen. You can see how it's, it's quite tidy. But everybody says that we've been attacked, we look like beggars. We stink to high heaven. It hurts me, seriously. It hurts me.
I've got a few questions about these poachers.
So ask.
I heard you saw something fishy in the forest.
That's right, I did.
Can you describe what you saw?
It was after dark, I remember that. I went up past the castle along by the clearing, and I saw someone had lit a fire, and there were figures singing and dancing, and I could hear the whistling of a pipe. And I could smell roast meat. It was like a feast of some sort. Only I thought maybe it was some witch's Sabbath, so I was afraid to stay too long in case they saw me.
What, in case you got pulled into some devilish dancing with the devil, eh?
Did you recognize anyone there? Someone from the village, maybe?
No. Like I said, it was dark. All I could see was shadowy figures moving around.
Did you hear any familiar voices?
No. But I heard girls' laughter, goblets clinking, a piper playing. It sounded just like any feast.
Where is the clearing?
A short walk north of the castle. There's a track past the woodcutter's camp that takes you there.
Thanks.
So there was also pipes. That's one of the clues that we get.
That's been going on?
It's clear as day. Hanekin Hare's back. And putting those antlers on Nicholas's house? Well, we all know what that means, don't we? It's the sign of a cuckold, you mark my words.
You mean to say his wife's cheating on him?
All I'm saying is she might be feeling the urge. It happens in the best of families.
Well, you're the first who's certain of Hare's return. So far, I've just heard vague rumours.
Well, now, I wouldn't say I'm completely sure. I suppose some other mischief maker could have done it, but better the devil you know. And everyone hereabouts knows Hare.
Okay,
you were singing a different song not long ago.
So? Why do you want to know so much, anyway?
It's nothing to you, but I'm helping Nicholas unmask that local poaching gang.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. And you also know not to keep anything from me. So, what's the story with that Hare?
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But promise not to tell Nicholas I said it.
I'll do what I can, but I need to let him know what I discover. So, out with it.
It's to do with Margaret, his wife. They say it's all because of her.
Keep going.
I know full well Hare's here, because Margaret admitted as much.
What did she tell you?
That he waited in the woods till she came by and they exchanged some words. Words was all she told me. Who knows what they actually got up to?
And what did they speak about?
I don't know, but if Nicholas knew they'd met, he'd most likely kill her.
You're sure she wasn't saying it in jest?
Oh no, Margaret wouldn't joke about something like that.
Who's this Hanekin Hare, anyway?
Hanekin Hare? There was a time he was Master Huntsman here, and Margaret was set to be his wife. But then he got himself accused of murder and fled before they could hang him. Margaret and his job both ended up going to Nicholas.
So what's the story between Hare and Margaret?
It was complicated. He wanted her and she wanted him too, I reckon. At least for a while. But then she hitched up with Nicholas and now she says she never had a thought of wedding Hanekin Hare.
Oh no, yeah, of course. Happens too often. Happens too often.
So what went on between Hare and the Huntsman?
Those two? There was no love lost between them from the moment Hare arrived. And then Margaret got involved. It was a messy business.
Do you think Hare really killed that man?
Who knows the truth of it now? I did find it all a bit odd. Hare never was much of a hothead. But then again, no one really knew him that well. And Margaret never wanted to speak of it. Wouldn't hear a word about it.
That's all I need. Thanks.
Take care.
So yes, if you listen to all the conversations, there's a whole bunch of talk about, Hanekin Hare and Margaret and whatnot. So yes. Yes. I mean, it could just be village gossip, or there could be something more to it. Margaret, we've already spoken to her. And also, because I'm so tired, do I have a cockerel? No, I don't. I need more drugs. Maybe speak to Olina?
I heard there are poachers in the woods round here.
If only if it was just poachers. It's that sorcerer Hare. He's the one who's been running amok. I said he'd be back, and I said he'd be vengeful, and I was right both times.
Tell me something about Hanekin Hare.
Ah, that was all years ago. He turned up here one day. No one rightly knew where from. He claimed up at the castle to be a nobleman's son, and so he got the office of Master Huntsman, and Margaret was promised him for his wife. Nobody could have known he was a sorcerer.
Ooh, he's a sorcerer evil, huh?
And how did his sorcery reveal itself?
Well, he was able to vanish into thin air in the forest right in front of folk. And I've heard it said he spoke to animals, too, though I don't know the truth of it.
That doesn't sound very convincing to me.
That's because you've not seen his marksmanship. It wasn't natural, the things he could do with that bow of his. They say he sold his soul for the gift of it.
I see.
Who's they? That's a question, right? Who's they?
How did it go with Margaret?
I'm not one to gossip, but she was a flighty lass in her younger years. She could never make up her mind which one she wanted, the Hare or Nicholas. So in the end, fate decided for her.
What do you mean? What happened with Hare?
Oh, that was quite something. And then some on top of it. Sir Henry of Lipo was visiting here at the castle, and Hare snapped his guardsman's neck with his bare hands. Of course, they found him out. But how do you keep a sorcerer under lock and key? You can't. That's your answer. That Satan's spawn slipped the net.
Oh well, it's quite a wild story.
Yeah, so basically she's the equivalent of the medieval clickbait news.
Any idea why he murdered the man?
No one knows, and most likely never will. But they say he was fully in the devil's power. There was a full moon, you see.
Uh-huh.
Was he actually seen killing the guardsman?
I suppose so. Else they'd hardly know who did it, would they?
That's probably true.
Yeah, back in the day, things like, beyond reasonable doubt didn't exist, so yeah. If somebody wanted you jailed, you get jailed.
Has anyone actually seen this Hanekin Hare? He seems to exist only as a bogeyman to frighten naughty children.
Oh, he exists all right. But he flits around in the forest like a shadow. They won't be catching him anytime soon. But Blacksmith's Betty heard some of their goings-on in the woods.
Goings-on? What's that supposed to mean?
Cavorting and raising hell. Sorcery!
My
Hare
God.
meets up with his sorcerer's apprentices, and they feast in the clearing in the woods. In the morning, they turn into ravens and scatter. Or so she says. But you'll have to ask Betty for more. Who knows what she saw? Or what she was doing there with them.
Uh-huh.
Very well. I'll ask.
Gotta gossip about everyone. But yes, sounds like Hanikin Hare was a DJ. Raising hell and cavorting. Yes, as you do.
Who does Hare want revenge on?
Master Huntsman Nicholas, of course. When the hare disappeared, Nicholas took his Margaret and the huntsman's posting.
So Nicholas came out of it well?
That one always knew how to land on his feet.
That is true. That's not gossip right there. That is definitely not gossip. Okay, so I think we have pretty much all the information that we're gonna get out of this. So yes, there's a couple of options. Go to the poachers. Go about this. Okay, so let me do this one. And then we'll be able to discover some proof of what's happening. And the actual clearing is over here. There's a big tree, but it's near to a crossroads. So if you just follow this road up here, stick to the left all the way through. That's the tree right there. That's a big tree. But you can also see all these logs. And voila! Someone's been partying on. What do you reckon, folks? Alright, let me get a spade. And does this look suspicious or what? The answer is what? Matt, don't piss your nut. Hey, Matt, get out of there. Let's speak to Tom of the Bards again. You can ask around at the tavern about the piper. That was a clue. So it doesn't show up in the quest log, but it is actually a clue. Okay, talk to me, innkeeper.
I'm glad to see you.
Oh, look at that. Somebody likes this.
I've heard Tom of the Baths was mouthing off in here.
So he did. He and Jack Piper were bragging about how they'd make a feast for the village lasses, that there'd be venison roasted in enough beer to fill a river. And a few days later, they did come and buy a few kegs of beer from me.
Did they have anything else to say?
Not really. I told him to shut up, or someone would hear him and there'd be trouble.
And what did he say to that?
Nothing. He had more booze in him than the castle cellar. He just hiccuped and slid under the table. Piper took him off after that, thank God.
Do you suppose he meant it?
Hardly. He's nothing but a braggart.
All right, I'd best ask him myself.
Feel free to ask, but don't believe half what he says.
And who is this Jake Piper?
Well, he's Tom's best mate. A decent fellow. They call him the Piper because everywhere he goes, he's whistling on that pipe of his.
Where can I find him?
Well, most likely in the quarry. He lends a hand there to make ends meet.
That is a bit of a slightly hidden branch. This guy doesn't wear a shirt.
I need to ask you something about the poachers.
What? Me? Why me, for Christ's sake?
They say you were mouthing off in the tavern.
We'd all had a few ales. You know what it's like. The tales get taller.
So you didn't go poaching with Thomas?
My God, no. That would never even cross our minds. Thomas is a bit wild, but I have some sense at least.
Ah, yes.
Some folk had themselves a feast in the woods recently, and the people who passed by told me they heard a piper playing. You weren't by any chance there, were you?
I was. I don't deny it. But nothing disreputable went on there.
Okay, now, because we actually went around there.
So how do you explain that I found bones buried there?
What? What kind of bones?
Deer bones.
As I was saying, there was meat being eaten, so there would be bones left.
And where might you have got a deer from? Game is for the nobles.
Well, someone brought it.
Who did?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
I'm asking you for the last time, who dragged in that deer?
Thomas. It was Thomas. But I had nothing to do with it, I swear.
So all that bragging when he was drunk was more than just hot air?
I don't know where the deer came from. After what happened in the tavern, Tom took me to the forest to this hide there. But I was too worried someone would catch us, and I took off.
You did yourself a favour. Thomas isn't going to get away with this. So about that feast you had the other day.
What about it?
So who was at the feast?
Just the village girls and us.
Who's us?
Us lads.
Was Tom from the baths there too?
Yes. Yes, he was there.
Blacksmith's Betty saw people feasting in the woods, and she says there was a nice smell of venison. What do you know about it?
Nothing. I wasn't there.
And I don't suppose you'll tell me who was?
No, because I wasn't there.
Jake Piper reckons you were at that feast.
I wasn't.
So you're calling Jake a liar?
I don't give a toss about Jake or whatever's buzzing around that empty head of his. He probably got so drunk he had visions of me there.
There is something you can do here.
I believe.
Yeah.
What?
And also, what? You can do this.
What in the...
Okay, they're not opening the door, are they? But yes.
Come now.
Okay, now because we've seen the shed.
The poachers gang.
Well, ask away.
Deer trophies? Lol.
So, you're saying you've not been poaching?
Now he's gonna cower.
How many times do I have to explain? I've never stolen so much as a rabbit. I was just in a tavern, bragging, that's all.
So, how do you account for my finding some deer antlers in your shed?
Yeah, now you're scared.
Come on, let's hear the truth.
All right, but promise me you won't drag me into anything.
Speak up and who knows, I might put in a word for you.
All right. The truth is I did drag a deer carcass there, but I didn't do the shooting. I was given it.
That's a likely story.
Honestly, not a word of a lie. I caught the poacher just as he was skinning it.
And who might that be?
I don't know.
If you don't tell me who it was, I've no reason to believe that story of yours.
Fine. He's one of the charcoal men. I've seen him taking the charcoal to the forge. His name is Radan.
There are plenty of charcoal burners around here.
He came from the charcoal piles south of here. If you follow the creek upstream, you can't miss them.
Well, you better pray I find him, because if you've been lying to me, I'll go straight to the castle. Understood?
I'm telling the truth, I swear. I'm sure you'll find him there.
We'll see.
He's scared now. And it does exist. It does exist. So if you go to the charcoal burners camp, you'll basically be directed to join the poachers. So that's kind of a bit of a waste of effort. Alright, so you can go to the charcoal burners, but I won't do that because all it does is send you back to join the poachers. So what I will do is I will get Margaret to tell us about this. I mean, you could just skip the entire thing. You can just basically skip the entire quest just by going to Margaret. Let's intimidate her into giving us the information.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Oh, the hat disappeared.
I'd like to ask you about Hanekin Hare.
I'm sorry, but I really don't want to talk about that.
Yes, everything leads back to you.
The thing is, every time I spoke to someone about Hare, they always ended up talking about you.
But I don't.
You aren't to blame for anything, is that it? Well, I am willing to believe you, but you do know more than you're telling, and I need to hear it.
Very well. You're right. And what would you like to know about Hare?
How were things between you and Hare back then?
There was nothing between us. Hanekin Hare impressed my father with all his talk of noble blood. But I couldn't stand him, and I didn't want to marry him. And then it made no odds after he ran away.
So you didn't want
How
to?
convenient.
I only asked because I've heard differently.
That's village talk. Of course folk gossip. Mostly they just want to hurt Nicholas.
Did Hare really commit the murder?
God in heaven, how should I know? Anyway, it doesn't matter now.
That remains to be seen. What did you talk about in the woods with Hanekin Hare?
I see Betty's mouth's been busy.
Don't blame her. I had to work hard to weasel it out of her. Now tell me.
Oh, all right. Well, it seems Hanekin Hare's exile has addled his brain. He told me he'd go off with me, that he still loves me and nonsense like that.
And what about you?
What do you mean? I was so shocked, I couldn't even scream.
Is that all he told you?
He said if I change my mind, I'm to hang a garland of forget-me-nots on the house and wait for him at that place of ours.
Okay.
Where was it you saw him exactly?
I wish I could tell you. The whole thing was like a fever dream. I almost got lost trying to get out of the forest. Even if I remembered, it wouldn't be any use to you. Hanekin Hare moves through the forest like a ghost. He knows every tree root off by heart.
I want you to hang that garland on the lodge.
But I don't want to go anywhere with him.
You don't have to go anywhere. But tell me, where's that secret meeting place of yours?
On the way to Ujitz. Back then, we used to meet by the great big beech tree, right next to the wayside shrine. There's a lovely view there, you see.
And what time will he be waiting there for you?
At dawn. What are you going to do to Hare?
Never you mind. The main thing is it will all get sorted out. And that's all that matters, isn't it?
I suppose so. Very well, then. I'll hang the garland for you.
So, there's gonna be a meeting tomorrow. Right? Tomorrow. That skips pretty much a whole bunch of other things. But if you take any of the other parts, like say, actually finding the poachers, and then you choose to go side with the poachers or side with the guardsmen, then what happens is that there's a fight and people die. So this is the best way. And just remember, we're doing this work for Nicholas, who's a bit of a useless bastard. And also, yeah, level of reading. Dear Mr. T, I pity the fool. When I discussed with you our currency reform, blah blah blah. So don't do that. And respect my decision to terminate our collaboration. My deepest respects. S. So that's Sigismund, by the way. That is Sigismund. So we are going to meet him at dawn, I think. Somewhere there. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's about here. Be right up beyond the wagon onto the turn. Right about here. And if you look carefully in the bushes, there's an ugly face.
I'm guessing Nicholas won't be joining us. Who the devil are you?
Didn't you want to meet up with Margaret?
I thought you wanted to meet up with Margaret.
Fortunately, I'm not that much of a fool anymore. I was hoping I'd tempt Nicholas out of his lair. But let's get to the point. Who are you? And what are you doing here?
My name is Henry, and I work for the Master Huntsman.
So are you going to arrest me?
I am.
All I ask is that you listen to me first.
Why should I listen to you?
Because if you care about justice, you're after the wrong man.
Anyone can say that.
And that's precisely why the accused should get a proper hearing.
A proper hearing in the medieval era? Yeah, right.
Let me guess. You're going to tell me you're innocent?
I wouldn't presume. I've been poaching on the Divish estate, and I'll take the punishment I deserve. But the crime I was nearly strung up for, that one I didn't commit.
I've heard different things about your crime.
So I imagine. Lucas has told me the villagers still talk of me.
And how did it happen?
It's a long story.
I've got time to listen.
All right. But for you to understand, I have to start from the beginning. I was born as Hanekin Hare of Zalush, the eldest son of Sidney of Zalush. My house became sadly impoverished, and I became the master huntsman at Talmberg.
Gamekeeper turned poacher? I see. That's quite a transformation.
Nicholas gave me no choice.
What happened to your family?
My father lost his influential friends and the money with them. After his death, I inherited only his debts. There was nothing for it but to sell off all our possessions, see to my sister's welfare, and manage as best I could.
That sounds a rough deal.
Believe it or not, I never cared for the life of a nobleman. I spent my youth running free, hunting in the woods.
What happened between you and Nicholas?
I was falsely accused of murder. Henry of Lipa visited Talmberg, and the morning after the banquet in his honor, one of his men was found dead.
And didn't they have any cause to suspect you?
That's just it. They did. At the banquet, I got into a fight with the man.
I know Sir Hanish of Lipa. Was Sir Henry his father?
Indeed. He was on his way to Ratai to take charge of the fiefdom for young Sir Hans Capon.
Why did you get into a fight with him?
The fall of the House of Zalush was the work of the Lords of Lipa, and that fellow took great delight in reminding me of it.
And then what?
Nicholas began to pull strings. Several people came forward as witnesses to say they saw me with the fellow later that night.
Why would he have done that?
He wanted rid of me. We were both in love with the same lass, you see, and Margaret is his wife today. But back then there was no question which of the two of us would win her. I was the huntsman of noble blood, and Nicholas was just plain Nick. Her father's preference was clear.
Do you know who did kill the man?
No. He was found in a ditch with his neck broken. He could have tripped and fallen, all on his own.
And that never occurred to anyone?
It did. But some people swore they'd seen us jostling on the drawbridge. Of course, that was Nicholas's work.
What did Margaret think of you?
She took me for a fool. She only had eyes for Nicholas, but I didn't see it then. In the end, she could have saved me.
How?
She could have told the truth. After the banquet, I was with her. But when they asked her, she said she hadn't seen me that night.
How did you get out of it?
What leads you to imagine I did?
Your head's still on your shoulders, so you must have escaped somehow.
I'm alive. But my name and my family's name has been dragged through the mud. For me, that's worse than the sentence waiting for me.
If you say so. But you still managed to get away.
Well, it's true. I had the good fortune to escape from the dungeon.
From the Talmberg dungeon? That can't be done, can it?
It's not too hard when the lord of the castle himself helps you escape.
So Divish set you free? From his own dungeon?
He couldn't offend Henry, so he had to lock me up. But he trusted me. We were friends, after all. He led me out of the castle in the night. I was given a good horse, and in a couple of days I was in Silesia. And that was the end of it. At least until now.
Even if I believed you, there's no proof. It all happened a long time ago.
I know. But if I didn't believe in my own innocence, I'd have to be crazy to have done what I did.
Why?
If I truly were guilty, why would I risk coming back to Bohemia? I could have died in peace as a rich man in the pay of the Jagiellonians. Only a fool would come back.
Nicholas took everything you had, regardless of your guilt or innocence. I'd say you have more than enough cause to want revenge.
I'm not like him. Anyway, you're right. I don't have any proof of my innocence. All I can give you is my word.
This is one of the most insane stories I've heard lately.
That doesn't surprise me.
But something tells me you're speaking the truth, Hanekin Hare.
Thank you. Come to the old mine gallery in Broad Woods.
I'll be there.
I have a plan, but I need some help.
And by the way, there is a bit of a comment here to be made. This guy is from House, I think it's Ulrich or something like that. But basically, when we do the Heretics quest, the bishop is basically of the same family. So there is a little bit of a tie there between what's happening between this guy and Hanush's father. And what's happening between Hanush and the bishop. That is not just a question of mere coincidence. I think it's somewhere here. Jump! Yes, when you jump, you can jump further by saying jump. All right, maybe I should just follow that guy. Pro gamer tips: follow the NPC. Lol. I was trying to do speed running, but ended up doing slow running.
So, what are you up to?
Working out how to get Nicholas's confession.
And how would you do that exactly?
Simple. I'll have him sign it. I've had the priest in Janowitz write me up a parchment. When Nicholas signs it, he'll admit to everything written down there.
How do you want to force him to do that?
He won't have a choice, or rather he will have, between his wife Margaret and the job of huntsman.
I'm not following this at all.
It's plain enough. We'll kidnap Margaret. That's to say you'll kidnap Margaret while I distract Nicholas. If he wants to see her again, he won't have any choice.
Kidnapping? That doesn't seem like much of a way to clear your name.
No. Take a look around you, Henry. Sigismund kidnapped Wenceslas, his own brother. And Divish was abducted by Medek of Waldeck.
True, but Sigismund and Medek kidnapped the men they wanted to bargain with. You're thinking of taking a man's wife who's done nothing to deserve it.
And what of it? Those others did it for money or power. I'm doing it to redeem my honor. And since you mentioned Margaret, she's not all that innocent. I could have swung because of her.
But that confession's just a scrap of parchment with writing on it. What will happen to him after that?
That scrap of parchment is for Sir Divish and the provincial court. But we'll be generous to Nicholas and let him leave in peace before we deliver the confession to Talmberg.
So Nicholas will go free, and you'll clear your name?
Hopefully.
So what do I need to do?
I had Nicholas's prized hunting horn liberated. I'm sure Nicholas will recognize its sound from quite far off. I'll lure him out of the lodge at dawn.
And I meant to kidnap his wife while he's gone?
Of course it would be best if she went with you voluntarily, but if not, you'll just have to drag her with you.
I don't know. What if there's trouble?
That's why I'm sending you. I trust you. But whatever happens, Margaret mustn't be hurt. When you get her, bring her here. Then we can decide what's next.
All right.
Well, there you go. There you go. Right. Whatever it takes. It used to be an option to actually speak to her and get her to come voluntarily, but I don't think that's possible anymore. I'm not sure why, because I actually think that's a better approach. So we need to basically get to Margaret. What's the time? Perfect. So by the time we bring her over here and we finish the entire deal, we should be able to race away. Oh, actually, how long does it take? No, I need to do the race first. I think this will screw us over. So I need to do the race first. Or maybe kidnap her and then do the race. Private area. Yeah. So people don't like us being here. Right. No. We need to get in here. That guy is gonna be a bit of a pain in the butt. That guard is here by himself, so you just sneak in here. He'll patrol around though. You can actually watch his pattern. Okay, now shut the door. Oh, your dog. So there's many games that actually have the same thing happen. Oh, what is this? Oops, she was waking up. She was waking up. But yeah, unfortunately speech doesn't work anymore. Used to. Dog, open the door for me. Oh shit. I hope she didn't break her neck. Get out of the way, dog. The guy is still down there. Or at least he hasn't seen me. So basically, yeah, don't bother trying to talk to her or anything like that. Just pick up and go. That isn't mine, okay.
Good work, Henry. Now we have to act fast and sort out Nicholas. Are you alright?
Margaret's a bitch. That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Well, I can't say I feel too good about it, but what else can we do?
Believe me, it gives me no pleasure either. But there's no other way. Take this confession. Go to Nicholas and make him sign it before you tell him where Margaret is.
What if he refuses?
You'll have to make him, one way or another.
I'm not complaining, but couldn't you go to him yourself?
Believe me, I'd rather not drag you into it at all. But if Nicholas sees me, he'll go straight for my throat before I get a word in. The only way to avoid bloodshed is if you go.
I see. Yes, you're probably right. And what if he attacks me?
Then of course you'll have to defend yourself. If you knock some sense into him in a duel, all well and good, but don't forget we need him alive. So keep a cool head.
All right. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. I'll get to it.
Here's the document. Don't forget to tell him he should get the hell out of Talmberg before we take it to the castle.
Where would I find you?
I'll wait for you in the clearing. Be quick. I don't want to keep poor Margaret here any longer than necessary.
I understand.
Okay, now we could go and do this, but I believe that that will skip forward time to the afternoon. And the problem is we have to do the horse race. So yes, I'll do that later. Follow the road, basically. Oh no.
Where the best steeds and riders in the land will compete to see who's fastest. Fate and fortune won't decide the winner here today. Horsemanship, knowing the lay of the land, and quick wits will bring victory. But I won't hold things up any longer. Competitors, prepare yourselves. Ready, steady, go!
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard. Okay, so you want to follow the road for the first few stages. Just follow the road, no rush. You can cut across the country, but it's kind of tricky, so it's best not to bother. So this horse is not very good, basically. Out of the way, peasant. Yeah, run into a tree. Well done. So basically, on the road to Wujitz, just follow the road and come back down the same way. It's fastest. And also avoid all the peasants on the road. That's not a peasant, that's a guard. What the hell? I don't think I've seen a guard there before. Right, so yeah, they are right behind you. Now, apologies for the texture loading because I'm moving too fast. And the game can't really load textures fast enough. Oh, this gets very difficult. Now, what's peasant mean? Peasant is a class of, well, people who work the land, but don't actually own it. Oh shit! Nearly killed that guy. So we may have lost a few reputation points from hitting some of the ladies over there, which is a bit of a shame. But this guy's pushed me down there. Usually I would have got away from this guy well before this. But it looks like my horsemanship skill is too low right now. Yeah, so yeah, if you run into bushes. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct, omelette. Basically low class people, manual laborers and stuff like that. Back in the day. Not people who work in industry, but people who farm the land. Oh, somebody hit my horse! Somebody hit my, sorry, my dog. Boo hiss. What was the next stop? I think it was the mill, the windmill.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess it was the windmill. So there's only one thing you really need to worry about. Yeah, the path is so narrow that they can't get ahead of me. At least I hope not.
Yeah.
Peasant, stay back. But yeah, you need some good horsemanship skill. Otherwise, your horse runs out of stamina, which is a bit of a problem, in a horse race, as you might imagine. Oh crap.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are.
Yeah.
Get out of the way, Cal. Okay, so there's two things you need to do. One is basically stay, well, assuming that of course you're kind of keeping up with the pack. There's two shortcuts you can take here. About peasant, well, usually was the lower classes, the priests and the nobles. Okay, so you want to cut across here. Those guys will go all the way around to the quarry. You can cut across. I mean, you can, Cyprus, you can. But just riding the horse doesn't increase it. You have to actually gallop and sprint and stuff like that. But it does go up pretty quickly. I'll agree on that. All right. But yes, if you cut across there, you get to the quarry ahead of these guys. In the way back, you just cut across here. So yeah, Cyprus. Another thing to consider in hardcore mode is if you take the penalty, the numbskull perk, that decreases the rate at which you get skill points. So yes, that also kind of balances things out. So you don't necessarily end up learning things way too fast. We did? Yes, we did. Here we are. So.
And here's our champion. A very impressive ride, Henry. Truly. And on a horse from Neuhof. It seems I'll have to reconsider where I get my horses from.
Are you going to buy from Zora then?
I'd be insane not to. You've proven to me the exceptional nature of her horses. Please send her the news with my greetings.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you. I'll pass your message on to her.
No, my horse! Sorry, my mutt. What have they done to my mutt? Okay, let's go back. Now, look at this. This horse is way faster.
Yeah.
This horse is way faster than the so-called super fast horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. This horse is way faster. But anyway, we need to find Nicholas now.
Have you seen my wife, Margaret? I'm sure something must have happened to her. I can't find her anywhere.
Yes, I've seen her.
Well, speak, where is she?
Hanekin Hare is holding her captive.
How do you know that?
It makes no odds. Just listen to me.
What, you whoreson? Tell me where she is right now or you'll rue the day.
Bluster all you want, but if you ever want to see Margaret again, you better get a grip on yourself.
Where is she? Tell me!
Yeah, you scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours. Sign this parchment here, and I'll tell you what you want to know.
I, Nicholas Angel, do hereby confess... Conspiracy against Sir Hanekin Hare? Just in proper punishment? What? You must be out of your fucking mind. Never.
Okay, so as always, there is an option which is more likely to succeed regardless of your skills. So these are both speech options. But this one is it. He actually cares about Margaret, so yeah.
Sign it if you cherish Margaret's life. I can't vouch for what Hare might do.
Hare's bluffing. He'd never harm Margaret.
I wouldn't be so sure. If you take a man's sweetheart, his home and his job, and leave him in the shadow of the gallows, you can't expect much mercy from him.
So, I have your word of honor we'll be allowed to leave.
I swear it. Neither Hare nor I will stand in your way.
There. Now tell me where my wife is.
There's an old mine gallery, a little to the south of here. Margaret is in there, alive and well.
I certainly hope so.
Okay, now, what's his name will take his time to get here. You can't follow him. But what will happen is that Nicholas will come here, they'll just get up and walk away. They'll walk off the map, basically.
So
nothing particularly interesting.
It's done. He signed it.
Voluntarily?
Yes. More or less.
Well, I'm glad it's been done without bloodshed.
And what now? Will you take the confession to Talmberg?
We'll go together. I need you to bear witness. I've been gone for years, and I'm not sure they'll take my word for anything.
Well, I hope they do believe you. Otherwise, we're both for the noose.
Don't worry. Divish won't forget our former friendship so easily. Are you ready to go?
If you do this in the morning, it will actually skip forward time.
I wonder what Teresa's doing now. I could stop by and see her again. I enjoyed it last time.
Oh yes, while kidnapping Margaret, Henry had time to think about I wonder what Teresa's doing. So I think in-game it's about 1 or 2. So I want to see what it skips forward to.
Hanekin Hare. I never expected to see you again.
It was the will of God that I returned.
You realize that Sir Henry of Lipa has never repealed his sentence against you. I'm duty-bound to arrest you and turn you over to the provincial court.
Perhaps. But will you read this first? Henry here is my witness that your master huntsman Nicholas signed it himself. This ought to change their minds.
It might. I'm sorry, Hanikin. I always trusted you. But your guilt seemed irrefutable. Nicholas was very thorough. Oh, there's no doubting his own confession. Captain.
Yes, sir.
have the Master Huntsman arrested.
That won't be necessary. I don't think they'll find him.
I understand.
So Divish is very perceptive, by the way.
So, what's to be done with you now? Poaching and kidnapping the Master Huntsman's wife. You see my difficulty.
I know. I can't stay here. It's enough to know my name is cleared.
I'll have a letter drawn up to recommend you to the service of Sir Vincent at Vellish Castle.
Thank you, sir.
But if Nicholas has vanished and we're sending you to Vellish, then who's going to be my master hunter here?
There's one obvious candidate. Henry here. Help me bring Nicholas to justice. And he's no disgrace as a hunter.
Really? Well, what of it, young man?
Yes, you should always accept. There's no reason not to accept the position. Of course.
It would be an honor, sir.
Good, good. Then I hereby name you Master Huntsman at Talmberg Castle. My chamberlain will tell you more about your new responsibilities.
Yeah, so there's no benefit to be gained either way, even from a role-playing perspective, by refusing the role.
Good luck to you, Hanikin.
Thank you, Henry. I could never have managed it without you. God willing, we'll meet again one day.
And there you are, the first step up in Henry's rise.
You didn't forget to check the supplies like I told you yesterday?
No, sir. I checked and it seems everything is in order.
All right. But buy a couple of kegs of wine when you've done your other chores. Make sure it's good. No slop.
You can count on me, sir.
So he's been buying slop, has he? Gotcha. Alright, we can speak to him to get some duties.
I'm glad to see you.
God save Master Chamberlain. Here I am.
So I see. And what do you want from me?
I'm the new Master Huntsman. I was told to report.
Why is she doing jumping jacks on the back?
Yes, yes. That whole business with Nicholas was, how shall I put it, rather unfortunate. Well, I won't keep you with the lamentations of an old man. Now, to your new duties. You're to supply the castle kitchen with game and protect the woods from poachers. Although there shouldn't be too many of those now.
No, I expect not. And when shall I start?
Right away. Sir Divish is planning to hold a banquet soon, and he wants venison for it.
All right, I'll get going right away.
By the way, the Master Huntsman should get a hunting bow and appropriate livery. You'll find everything in the lodge, which is also yours for as long as you hold the office.
I see. That's good news.
Yes, yes. Nothing but good news. Run along now. God be with you.
That guy may have been a friend of Nicholas's, by the way. I suspect that he's not particularly happy about the situation. So what I'll do is I'll go up to there, to the house, and then we'll go return the horse to Neuhof. Oh, here, Mistress Zora.
God's blessings.
That race, it was quite something.
So the race is over? Tell me, please, how did it go?
Not good. Terrible. Atrocious, really. Zora, prepare for the worst.
Mother of God, what am I to do?
Alas, you'll need to begin anew. Because Sir Divish wants to buy your horses.
Why, I ought to wring your neck, you rat. That's not the kind of joke you play on a woman of my age.
Congratulations, Zora.
Thank you, lad. But how can I ever pay you back? Wait, I've got it.
You'll get the best saddle to be had in the whole province. Smill had it made in Kidnapping.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's you I owe thanks to, lad. Good luck then.
That is the best saddle, period. Alright, so let's dress up our horse. Okay, there you go. So now we're Master Huntsman of Talmberg. And yes, we're going up in the world. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when new videos come out. See you soon.